Hey guys, and welcome to this video. Today is officially the first day of summer 2021 and I wanted to film a video dedicated to my top 5 bronzers for summer 2021. And I picked only the 5 bronzers that I absolutely love and are my favorite. So let's go ahead and get started. I will give you swatches in natural light, and also if you are interested to see all of these bronzers on my face, I'm going to have links in the description box so that you can see videos where I'm wearing each of these bronzers. Now let's go ahead and get started. If you're new here, welcome. I would love if you become part of our amazing beauty community by subscribing. So be sure to hit that subscribe button and let's go ahead and get started. Also, don't forget at the end of this video to let me know what is your favorite bronzer or what are your favorite bronzers for this summer. Now, the first bronzer that I want to share with you is a new addition to my makeup collection, and this is the Guerlain Bronzer from the summer 2021 makeup collection in light bloom, and it has a little bit of blush and it has also a bronzer. So this here can be used as a blush if you're using a very small blush brush, so you can use this as a blush as well, and it looks very beautiful as a blush. I love using this as a blush, but the bronzer itself is not completely matte, so it has some sheen. It has a very light sheen. I love the idea that here I have a blush and I have a bronzer, and I like the idea that the bronzer is actually not matte, but it has some luminosity when I apply it on my skin. So I'm going to show you swatches now. Okay, so here are swatches of the blush and the bronzer, and the bronzer has a very light sheen. It doesn't have shimmer, but it has sheen, which looks absolutely gorgeous on the skin. And let me get actually closer to see if I can get better footage for you. So this is a very beautiful product, and I personally like to use the blush. I like to use a small blush brush, and I like to take advantage that here they have a blush as well. So I think this is my number one for summer 2021. Definitely this is going to be my number one bronzer. I really love it. And I'm going to swirl, actually I'm going to give you a swatch when I swirl my finger also into the blush. Of course, when you swirl with a brush, the color that you're going to achieve is a lot more natural. So don't be afraid of this kind of a pinkish color, because I'm swirling my finger, as you saw, directly onto the blush, and this is not going to happen with a brush. I've tried this bronzer when I swirl the brush and apply it on my face. It looks very natural, but I personally love to apply this. I love to use the blush separately and the bronzer separately because it gives me a very beautiful finish. Next, moving on to another one of my favorites, and this is the Sisley Bronzer. And this only comes in one shade that is supposed to work for all skin tones. Now, this one is more luminous. This is actually the most luminous bronzer that I have, and I love it, but I have to be very light-handed because I think this bronzer looks better on someone who has medium skin tone. You can see how it looks, and you can see, I think in the pan, you can see the luminosity that this bronzer has, so I have to be really light-handed with this one. Otherwise, it looks quite orangey. Personally, on my skin tone, it looks quite orangey, but this is like such a lovely, beautiful bronzer. And I have a little bit of clouds now, so it's not completely sunny. Probably you can see because I don't have any additional lighting. I don't have studio lights when I'm filming this video. And it's approximately at noon. I am sitting close to the window so that you can really see how the colors look and how the products and the swatches look. But you can probably see here that we have a lot of luminosity going on. So I think this is perfect for someone who has dry skin, or if you have medium skin tone, medium to deeper skin tone, I think this is going to look so fabulous. If you have pale skin tone like me, you definitely have to be very light-handed with this one because it appears a little bit orangey on my skin tone. Next, moving on to the next favorite, and this is from Dior, and this is in number 4. So I have this new bronzers. This is one of the new bronzers of Dior. You can see this absolutely amazing, gorgeous leather packaging. It's cushiony, it's beautiful. It gets dirty quite easy, so I don't carry this bronzer in my makeup bag. But I'm really so attracted to the packaging of this bronzer, and soon they are going to release also highlighters. I can't wait to try the highlighters. So I have this bronzer in number 3 and 4, and I have comparison swatches and comparison video on my YouTube channel. You can see both how number 3 and number 4 look on my skin. I prefer number 4. for. So this one is quite silky. It's very lovely. I'm going to show you now. So let me go ahead and swatch, and it has some very light, very lovely blurring effect on the skin, which is something that I truly love and enjoy. And the Dior bronzer is completely matte. It doesn't make my skin flat matte when I apply it, but keep in mind that it's completely matte and it has a light blurring effect, which is something that I truly love and enjoy. Next comes a new bronzer that I was able to try thanks to this palette from Charlotte Tilbury, and this is the Love Glow palette. I have it in, let's see what it is. So this is Pretty Blushed Beauty, and the bronzer that I have here is the iconic Film Star bronzer in light medium. So I've only used it a couple of times and I'm trying to keep the design, who knows why, but I love the blurring effect that it gives. And once I finish this palette, I would definitely repurchase this bronzer because it is one of the most blurring bronzers that I have in my collection. It just feels so smooth and silky and lovely. So if you still don't have this palette, I would highly encourage you to get this palette. I really like it and I have a full review. I applied this palette on my face. I like that it has powder, it has a cheek color, it has the bronzer, and the eye colors are just stunning, so beautiful. Okay, so now I'm going to put my hand right here like this so that you can see. So I think you can probably see how blurring this bronzer is. This is the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer and this is the Dior bronzer. So the Dior bronzer also has that blurring effect, but the Charlotte Tilbury feels the most velvety. So I really like them. I'm going to get closer so that you can really see. Hopefully you can see the texture of the different bronzers. And then number 5 is going to be the Chantecaille Gel Bronzer, which is one of my all-time favorite bronzers. I found this bronzer last year. I actually purchased this bronzer, and right now I cannot use it anymore because this is a gel bronzer and it gets old. So with cream products, if you don't use them up, it's going to get old. But I love it. So you can see that I have a lot of tan right now because I was outside yesterday, but I'm going to show you. It's almost a full tube because I was not able to use it up, but I'm thinking that I should definitely repurchase this at some point. I just have too many bronzers and there are too many releases, so that's why I'm not repurchasing. But you can see how gorgeous this is, and it blends like a dream. Now mine is a little bit thicker because I purchased this bronzer exactly 1 year ago, and apparently it's old now. I just have to get rid of it and I can't use it anymore. With cream products, the bad thing is that if you don't use them up, they're going to go bad. So I just keep this for demonstrating purposes, because if you're looking for a good bronzer, I think this one is the most natural bronzer that I have in my collection. I really like it. I think it's completely justified, the price, and you basically cannot use up this bronzer. Oops, we have a little bit of sun, so I want to show you how the swatches look. So if you want to see a full review of this bronzer and how it applies on my skin, I have a full review. I really love it. I think it's absolutely worth the splurge, worth the investment. This is one of the very, very best bronzers that I ever had and that I ever tried. It's very natural and I think it fits all skin tones, even pale skin tone like me. And I like this one because you can go as dark as you want and it always looks very natural. Or you can use it very lightly and you can use it on different parts of the face. It blends like a dream. It is absolutely stunning, and I think once I get some discount, I'm going to repurchase it, but I'm just waiting for some discount because there are just too many new releases and I'm trying to be careful with my purchases, but I had to mention this one because it's one of my all-time favorite bronzers. Okay, so that was all for today's video. These were my top 5 bronzers for summer 2021. Let me know in the comments below what are your top bronzers for this summer and what are your favorite bronzers. I hope to see you in my next video. Take care, bye!
I had a feeling you'd come.